Hello and welcome to payroll training. Today we're going to talk about FLSA overtime look back and cleanup for biweeklies 1 through 4. So, due to our FLSA overtime reporting beginning in biweekly 5 here at Michigan Tech, union employees who received contractual overtime must look back at biweeklies 1 through 4 and correct and re-report overtime as FLSA overtime where applicable. So what does this mean? If you worked over 40 hours in biweeklies 1 through 4, some of those contractual overtime hours will need to be reclassified for FLSA reporting. Maybe even all of those contractual overtime hours will need to be reclassified for FLSA reporting. So it is important that we perform the look back. Union employee overtime listings have been sent to supervisors and approvers to help identify impacted employees for biweeklies 1 through 4. So even if you, the employee, doesn't look back at 1 through 4, there's a high chance you'll be reached out by a supervisor approver stating that you've received this OT and that we'll need to look back, and then they can assist you as well. So part of this process, we are going to do some exceptions from our normal payroll correction procedures. A couple of exceptions will be paper timesheets will not be required if there is a large number of adjustments. If you have to submit more than 5 paper timesheets, stop. We're going to do it a different way. Additionally, full earnings do not need to be reported. This is because no additional pay is going to be issued. This is not a pay change, it's a reporting change. So payroll will process the net adjustment only. So traditionally, when we do a corrected timesheet, you have to report all hours on that timesheet. That is not going to be the case for this. We're just going to report the hours that are changing. So if you have more than 5 adjustments, reach out to payroll and we'll get you access to a shared Google Sheet. That Google Sheet will have a tab specifically for your area that we can do the input and adjustments. We can also do review calculations on your end, review calculations on payroll's end. In that spreadsheet, we can also capture employee and supervisor acknowledgments, and it will serve as our documentation for final payroll processing. When it is processed in payroll, it will show up in one biweekly 4, and it will be a net adjustment of all those biweeklies. So all we're doing is we're moving hours out of contractual overtime and into FLSA overtime. No new pay, no new dollars are going to be generated from this change. Due to the complexity of these corrections and need for consistent treatment across bargaining units, payroll is reviewing 1 through 4 adjustments centrally. I personally will review all of our net adjustments and make sure they make sense, they're reasonable, they're appropriate. Also, we want to have a huge thank you to our supervisors and approvers who are taking the time to review and support these corrections for their employees. Again, payroll is here to assist as much as possible and help make this process manageable while ensuring accurate FLSA overtime reporting moving forward. And that is the end of our slide presentations. We are now going to go into some tools, or one tool, that will help us complete this exercise. All right, so this tool was created by me in the payroll office here, and it is a union overtime reversal calculator specifically for FLSA reporting. So this calculator is meant to unwind our contractual overtime and re-report as FLSA overtime if applicable. So right here we have some instructions. So we're going to input hours, we're going to verify totals, we're going to then use the net adjustments, and that is what we're going to report to payroll. That's what payroll is going to review. That's what payroll is going to process. One thing to note here is that there is 2 tabs here. I got reversal calc greater than 40, reversal calc greater than 80. This calculator over 80 is only for specific POA employees who report FLSA overtime as over 80 hours in a pay period. Most everyone will be using this calculator, over 40. All right, let's jump right in. And I have a couple, we're going to go through 3 examples or 6 weeks because we're going to do it weekly, okay? So here is a summary from an experience timesheet, okay? This is, I'm going back into biweekly 1. Biweekly 1, we had holiday. Biweekly 1, we had seasonal days. So I'm recalculating what we should have reported for FLSA if this was reported as FLSA in biweekly 1, which it wasn't. We didn't start doing FLSA until biweekly 5. Okay, so here we need to simply report the hours that are on this experience timesheet. So 001 hours reported. Okay, I look over here, 001, I got 19 hours, and that's it. So this is going to be 19. Okay, code 200 reported. 200 overtime, I got 10 here, and that's all I have for this week. Okay, great. Okay, unproductive time. Okay, I got holiday and seasonal day, so 16 and 5. Let's just do some math here. Plus 16 plus 5, that's 21. Reported comp time earned. I don't see any of that. 0. Okay, so I have input the hours. Now, next, we're going to go verify the totals. Total reported, 50. Yep, that matches. 50. Okay, we're good there. Worked hours, 29. Does that make sense? Yeah, because I had 19 regular and 10 of overtime. So I worked 29 hours. Great. Comp time earned, 0. Unproductive time, 21 hours. Okay, yeah, that's my holiday and seasonal day. Oh, FLSA adjustment. I don't see anything for FLSA adjustment. Is this wrong? No, it's not wrong because we did not work over 40 hours. Therefore, FLSA is not applicable. So, what does this mean? You can work a lot of hours, but if you're taking unproductive time, that does not count as FLSA worked hours. And that is because our union contracts, it might count for our union contracts, and that is because our union contracts pay above and beyond FLSA. So in this case, he's going to keep his overtime as 200, as contractual overtime, because it is contractual overtime. And the person did not work over 40. They worked 29. Okay, great. Let's move on to our next example. Okay, let's go regular rate. Got 8 and then 8. So let's go 8 plus 8 plus 8. Reported 200. I got plus 9 hours at the top there, plus 3 hours. Unproductive time, I see plus holiday, 16 hours, plus seasonal day, 8. And no comp timer, no comp time taken. Okay. Total reported, 52, matches 52. Great. Worked hours. Yep, that matches his worked hours there. And his unproductive time. Okay, great. So yeah, no FLSA overtime to even adjust. We are good. Biweekly 1, just as a reminder, if you took your holidays and seasonal days, it's probably unlikely you're going to have over 40 hours because those holidays and seasonal days for biweekly 1 were about half of the pay period. Okay, we're done with this example. Delete. All right, next example here. Oh, we got some comp time earned. Let's see how this calculator shakes it out. Okay, reported 001. I see plus 8 at shift 3, plus 32 at shift 1. 40 hours. That's a good sign that we'll probably have FLSA overtime. I already have worked hours at 40. Also to note, I see 2 different shifts here. Does that matter? Answer is yes, it does matter, but it doesn't matter at this point in time. Right now, we're doing a high-level hourly calculation, and we just want to see that net adjustment in hours. Once we have that, and we're starting to fill out our Google Sheets or our timesheets, we just simply need to split those hours into those shifts to get those shift differentials. But at this level, adding those shifts in is just a little bit too much. Let's get to our net adjustment first, get to a smaller grouping of adjustments before we then start putting in more details to split them out by shifts. Okay, so 001's at 40. Reported 200. So plus 3 plus 14. Oh, 17 hours at 200. Okay, unproductive time, I don't see any. 0. Comp time earned, I see 12. Comp time taken, I see 0. All right, it's verified totals. Total reported 69 hours. Does that match? Yep, 69 hours. Good. Total hours worked 65. But I thought all these hours were worked. Yes, all these hours are considered productive time, but what do we know about comp time earned? Comp time earned is earned at 1.5 times, right? And it already includes our premium portion. So to get 12 hours of comp time earned, how many hours do you actually need to work? 8. The answer is 8. So if we take, so when you actually work, you worked 8 hours that you are comping, and you times that by 1.5 to get to 12. So you didn't actually work those 4 hours between 8 and 12. That is considered your overtime premium hours. And that is what we show over here. So that comp time premium is then going here. And for the purpose of this calculator and this calculator only, it is considered unproductive time. That's because you didn't actually work those 4 hours. You are getting them as an OT premium. So for this calculator, we need to back those out. We need to back them out of comp time earned, and we need to put it into our 260 FLSA comp time earned, because that's the premium portion, that 0.5, that 0.5 rate. So, okay, verified totals, looks good. Okay, now we have an FLSA adjustment. Let's do a reasonableness check here. It says I should move all of my 200, all of my reported hours under 200, which was 17. These all need to go back to 001 at straight time. And then I need to also include 17,250 units, which is at that half premium. Why does it all 17? Should it be all 17? Well, yes, because you already worked 40 productive hours. So anything over that is FLSA. Just because you were paid for contractual back in biweekly 2, 3, or 4, that does not mean it has to stay contractual. In this case, we've determined all of it was worked after 40 hours, or for the whole week in total. All this overtime was due to you because you had worked over 40. Okay, so that makes sense. We are going to move it from here, which is at a 1.5 times rate. So negative 1.5, this is a 0.5 times rate, and this is going to be a 1 times rate. So we're taking it out of here and splitting it into 001 hours and 250 units. Okay? Next, we're taking the comp premium, the 4 hours between 8 actually worked and 12 earned, and we're moving it out of our comp time earned and putting it into our FLSA comp time earned. Because guess what? That's the premium portion. All right, now let's do week 2, 40 and 18. This one's easier. Okay, reported hours 001, 0 overtime hours. Comp time earned is 18. Okay, now let's verify totals. I got 58, 58. Total work is 52. Is that right? Is that right? So what it's saying is actually only worked 12 hours, but we were able to claim 18 due to that 1.5 times gross up. Okay, Now, so that makes sense, right? 6 hours are considered premium. That's the difference between 12 and 18. So looking here, we don't have any adjustment for 200. Well, that's because we didn't have any in that week. You didn't earn any code 200, so we can't adjust it. There's nothing there to adjust. Okay, great. And all we're doing here is removing that premium portion, hours, into FLSA premium portion. Okay, makes sense. Okay, we can get rid of that example. Let's go down here, pick up this example. Okay, last one. Let's do this again. So regular weight, I got plus 16 plus 24. Okay, 40. Reported 200, I got 9 plus 12. Ooh, let's go plus 9 plus 12. Plus 9 plus 12, okay. And 0, 0, 0. Okay. Total hours reported, 61. Yep, matches. Total hours worked, 61. That makes sense. You worked 001, you worked, then you got overtime. Now, since you already hit your 40 threshold, all of it is going to be considered FLSA. So we need to move it from 200. So we're going to have to do negative 21 hours here, positive 21 hours here at straight time, and then positive 21 units at that half premium. Okay, good. Moving on. Let's do week 2. We got 40 here, 0 here, and comp time earned is 24.75. All right. So the reason I made this calculator was to visualize this reversal and then re-reporting of it, but then also to help when we have increments in hours. They're just tougher to deal with, tougher to math out, and we want to get it right. Okay, so let's verify. Total reported, 64.75. Check, check. Total hours worked. Okay, 24.75 divided by the 33% to get back to our hourly rate. Okay, so yes, that makes sense. We have 8.25 hours of premium. Okay, and that is calculated by taking this divided by the 1.5 rate. Okay, so that means what was actually worked was 475 minus 8.25. It's actually 16 and a half hours. We worked 16 and a half hours, but we're able to take and record as 24.75 because we grossed it up at that 1.5 times rate. Okay. All right. So then we go to our adjustment. 0 adjustment here makes sense because I didn't have any overtime here. So nothing to adjust. But I did have comp time earned, and we know we need to put that premium portion into the FLSA OT premium bucket. So that's why we're taking negative hours here and putting positive hours here. Okay, that is it for our training video today. Again, please reach out to payroll if you have questions regarding this calculator or you're just having a hard time calculating that first time sheet. Reach out to us, we'll get you on the right page and hopefully be successful moving forward. All right, thank you again and have a good rest of your day. Bye now.